can't put the fan on either because people can't hear us.
Exactly.
No. That's the move.
Yeah, it's pretty good there, I think.
Yep.
All right. Give them a little rundown. Actually, yeah.
Are we running?
Yeah, tell them what's going on.
So we're going ahead and get these two radiator fans replaced. One's actually a condenser fan. Both sit on the radiator though, so it's just easier to say that for you guys. You got to get this whole core support top out, which is kind of a trick. We'll show you when we're putting it back in how we got it out exactly. A couple electrical connectors, you know, nothing too crazy. If you're efficient, you can get it done without undoing too much cooling out of the system or none at all. But there's tricks to it. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it, show you exactly how we got it out by putting it back in the exact same way. And yeah, we have to recharge the AC system because with those radiator fans not working, that condenser was overworking and the pressures weren't correct. So when we get it back together, I'm just going to evacuate the system, put new AC refrigerant in it, and everything should work good. Hopefully, it didn't do anything damage to the compressor by running the refrigerant too hot. And we didn't do any damage to the motor. We did a leak down test. I sat it on overnight, and we also got a new radiator cap because the last thing you want to do is have this radiator cap working overtime because it was leaking coolant, but out of the radiator overflow, which is it's designed to do. And if the spring's been working overtime and it's old, you might as well just put a new cap on it. They're pretty cheap, just cheap insurance. That way, you're not going to have another leak after you do all this work. All right, guys. So we're going to get into it, and we'll show you kind of how we do it.
All right, let's get this camera to go down.
Right there. More than that because it's going to be sitting flat.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Alrighty, so we're going to start with the driver's side. And this radiator is now loose, so you can just kind of push it forward and get that in there. Now you're going to kind of have to figure out the best way to do it. You don't want to put too much stress on this radiator hose. So you kind of want to tilt it in and then possibly, you know, you want to angle it around like this. Definitely don't want to put too much stress on this hose because this can crack right here. I've seen it a bunch of times, especially on these older radiators. This is an 06 with a little over 100,000 miles on it, so it's not too old, but plastic still does deteriorate even if the engine's not running. So you got to remember that too. Okay, now we got the lower transmission cooler line. I'm gonna have to get under, and they'll have to assist me from above. Now, you don't want to pull on these too hard either, because same idea. The whole core of that radiator is plastic, and last thing you want to do is damage it. We're gonna have to do the bottom first, so if you want to get it out from above on the top.
Yeah, you gotta go back with it.
Yeah, you gotta go back with it. Just be careful.
Put it back to where it was.
Yeah, but just if you can, slide it, tilt it back to where the top is at the back of the motor. You know what I mean? And then try to get under that radiator. We can actually probably pick up the radiator some. Try this again from above. I got an idea.
There we go.
You got it over on the bottom? No, I want to get here. One sec. Oh, shit. I want to get this top back on this side and then get this in first.
Yeah. It's over now.
Yeah, but we're not gonna be able to get
Nope.
that. No way. We had it done it the other way.
Yep, that's pretty much through. There you go.
Well, now I got to go under, so you're gonna have to keep it at that angle. Try to get it. This is kind of a trick down here to even get my hand in. We are almost there. We're like little bit more. There we go. All right, over. Let's have to do a little push and bend. Now I need to get it in these bottom. There's 2 prongs at the bottom of the radiator that each fan sits in. 2 for each for fan, I should say. Now you're just gonna maneuver it, and then boom. See how the bolts are lining up, guys? Watch your hand, Gooby. See how the bolts line up with this? Now we're gonna go ahead and put some bolts in it. No, that came off of here.
Yeah, you're right.
That's for the core sport. Get these bolts in, and just don't forget to plug it in, guys. Come on. It's pretty self-explanatory, but you're surprised. When you're in a situation, sometimes you just forget little things. So go slow and you'll be good. Now we're gonna go ahead and tighten this up. Don't go too crazy. It's not gonna fly off. Just get it nice and snug, you know. All right, that side's done. Now on the other side, there is a couple connectors. There's a dead connector at the bottom that does nothing, that the new one does not come with. It's an accessory for another model, I would guess. But if you look here, guys, you can see this is just a plug-in. Goes nowhere though, it doesn't have any cables, so you're gonna get this off. Use a handy dandy little 90-degree pick. Get under it, slide it off. It's not open. There we go. See, it's literally just a dead connector. It's got no wire going out of it, but it's got a little socket so the sun can plug in. And make sure you put that on the new one. Same way it came off. That way you're retaining all factory stuff. Now, that little connector I was talking about is this right here. So this just goes ahead. Uh-oh. What do we got going on here? No, that's the coolant temp sensor. We got a plug missing. We have a whole plug missing. How did that fall down in there? Someone's definitely done this job before, guys. So we are fighting with zip ties that shouldn't be there and a bunch of other stuff. So this live stream, you know, had to have fallen.
Where'd it come off of?
Actually, this is it here. Oh, so what actually happened is this. So that isn't a dead connector, guys. Wow. Okay, so this is your AC cycling switch. So I'm glad I figured that out before we went and had to put it in. Now, how it came out, your guess is as good as mine. But we definitely unplugged it, so. Has to go this way. See, you can tell someone's been in here with all this electrical tape. It's everywhere. Honda uses electrical tape and that other stuff, but this stuff does not look factory. So, I can just tell. It's got the rubber connector, rubber insulator. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put that down there and keep it down there so I can mess with it at the bottom. Make sure everything's plugged in before I go ahead and put it on that little connector. Now we got a coolant temperature sensor at the bottom. We got that now. Now we're gonna have to be careful Put this radiator in, or this fan in. Not damage that connector. I want to do this twice.
This gimbal is awesome. Just set it down, pick it up, it retains all the motion. Gotta find that joystick though. I keep putting it in my backpack and the knob keeps falling off.
Yeah. Okay, this is weird. There we go. So I guess not fun. I don't want to deal with that right now. Yoki. That in. Now we're ready.
For this?
Yeah, well, we got to get these fan bolts in. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten those real quick. I gotta go deal with the customer real quick, guys. Just gonna go ahead and tighten those fan bolts.
All the 10s in one place. Not in the toolbox from the prior job. Hilarious.
I would use a 10 mil, but yeah. Or I would use the ratcheting wrench because it's just.
Actually, maybe not. I don't know what I do.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I went to the water park yesterday, still in those pants.
No worries. Grab it in a minute. Not too crazy.
What's going on, man?
Live streaming a video.
How are you?
Mm-hmm.
Doing it on Facebook or?
YouTube. Right?
Yep.
All right, so we got everything ready to go.
I'm gonna go give it a shot.
They're gonna ID you with the place right across the street, guaranteed.
Yeah?
Yeah, and the wall down the road. Not even worth it. Gonna give me a zip tie?
Yeah.
So I can. And before we put this back together, we should just test it, the AC system, before I. Because this is gonna be impossible to reach damn near. Once I get the zip tied on. That plastic mount fan came with is not good. Doesn't even click in, it just slides off, so we don't want any vibrations from that. We'll just that's a bad angle. Push that. Everything's plugged in, you tighten these down. The only thing we don't have on is overflow, but it's not going to run long enough. We just got to see if the compressor clutch kicks in. Whew, it's hot out here, guys. All right, let me get the key. You might not want the gimbal on the engine when we start it.
It's on the intake. Be alright.
Vibrations.
I think it's. Oh, this is perfect right here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Will it actually sit?
Yeah, well. I'm just trying to get the angle right now.
Let's flash that sign. What's up?
Right there. You just gotta prop it on this bolt.
Nice. Here, go ahead and start it and turn the AC on. I'll watch this. Turn the AC on?
Yeah.
Yep, it's working. Both fans are working now, guys. We went ahead and tested it. See, both fans spinning full speed. We'll post a video as well of the diagnosis, but both fans you had to push start. Once there was power to them, they weren't doing anything. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get the rest back together.
Hey, you want to hold this for a sec?
Sir. Sweet, so that works. That works. I need to trim that zip tie before getting further. It's not hanging in there, blowing in the breeze.
Actual real-time repair.
Yep.
Right?
Not some people see. Alright. Zip tie is trimmed.
I'll get that bolt in when it's
In the
time.
bottom, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright guys, so now we're getting this core support back on.
Back in there. Yep,
Wonder
it
why.
goes underneath there.
Yeah. Wondering why we have an issue. That's it right there. Now I'm running into this. That's it. That's on now. All the way.
You gotta get
I gotta
close
clip.
button into the rail.
You mean the wiring?
Yeah, those little
Oh, I haven't gotten the top clips, no.
goes there.
Now there's a bunch of clips on this wiring, guys. You're just gonna have to take my word for it. You gotta put them all back in so everything stays nice and tight. No any issues. Wire vibrating means wire can be chafing. Boom. That's done. Alrighty.
Just gotta remember to get that ratcheting 10 down in there and tighten this one.
Yep.
Pain in the ass.
Can be. Very fuck can be. Oh, you know where we fucked up? Alright guys, so this is real life repair. When you don't put your overflow bottle in there before that core support, you ain't ever fucking getting it out. I'll tell you that right now.
Yes.
So, this is part of it. Oh, nice. Came all the way out. Always a good setup. On the ground somewhere. You got it?
Yep.
Let me get all these freaking things out again. All these clips off. This out here. Started that already. Clip right here. Alright, that should be enough for him. Yep. We'll see. I'm hoping guys, I'm really hoping that we can get this in there without taking that fan out again too. It's supposed to wrap around the fan. Oh, thank God. Alright. So now there's a little barb at the bottom, or a little slot it slides in. You have to feel around for it. Got it. Fan. Got it on there. Route the hose correctly. Just like that. There. 10. That's 8. Alright, check everything. Good. Ready? Ready to try again. Now, gotta re-wrap this in here. And get that center one in there. This in there, this in there. This there. There's one more. No, there's not enough. Yep, right here. This new flashlight thing is not fun. There we go. Alright, now we can start again.
Deep well. Oh, I got it.
Got it. Damn, that's a long bolt. So we got that one bolt at the bottom now. I'm gonna get this in.
Doesn't gotta be death tight.
No.
One more up here.
See it? But that one's for the battery hold down. We don't need to do that right this second.
I'll grab that ratchet and jump down there, get that bolt in the bottom.
Sounds like a plan.
Where is it?
Ratchet.
No, the bolt.
Bolt. You're gonna have to watch out real quick. I'm gonna have to get up here.
Yeah, you put it up here, didn't you?
Somewhere. There's like 10 bolts up here still, so these two are the same.
Just a 10.
This will work perfect.
Yep. So
Probably, yeah, because it's painted blue.
flashlight that.
Yep. Oh, great.
Don't need to do that.
Well, I need to get a bolt out that I just dropped, so kind of do need to do it. I'll choose a different bolt. There's a bolt in there, guys.
I don't hear it.
Yeah, I know you probably don't. I didn't either, so. in there somewhere. I can tell you what.
So, torsion force gotta be pushed down a very pulled up a little bit.
I
Yeah.
can't.
You gotta loosen it a little then.
Okay, guys. It's fucking way too hot without a fan. We're doing this for you guys.
Yeah, get the electric tool. That'll be the easiest.
No, there's like 11 things I've done, so I'm gonna, yes. But the electric tool doesn't fit everywhere, dude, so.
It's just the top, it's just gotta be raised a little.
Yeah, but look at this bolt's in there now. That bolt's in there now. That bolt's in there now. That all these accessory things that we have are now tightened. So I have to push it down or pull it up. Look under there while I'm doing that. Maybe when we were trying to.
It is just a tad, but it's one of those things where you,
Like this.
yeah, that'll fit. Yeah,
Yeah, try it. Now, how are you gonna get it to it? That's my question.
like operation. Right?
Yeah. You got it?
Almost.
Got it?
Almost.
I can't do that all day.
Oh, you're holding it?
Yeah,
Oh.
holding it that whole time. My forearms are on fire. You got it?
Okay.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going in. I'm watching the backside of it, so I'm waiting for it to come through. If it is going in.
Grim's Garage, baby.
Oh, it's definitely going in. Perfect. Alright, now I can go ahead and tighten the rest of this shit. That's fine. Okey-dokey. I got 2 on this air ram or this air duct intake. I feel like pulled out a little bit, needs to be turned. There we go. Alright, we need a battery hold down put on. It's right there. Two-handed job.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you want to close it or what? Just leave it open, bro. Just move it out of the way. Show you how to close the lid. Alright. So if you want to film this. Battery hold downs are pretty easy, guys. There's a hook, a little J hook. You're gonna go ahead, find there's a little hole on one side. Well, that's why you need flashlights. Alright. There we go. Now, we're gonna go ahead and pull it over. Bolt it in. Where are those tools you're using in your hand? All of it there, drop me in. There we go. Solid, not going anywhere. Now we're gonna check over everything. Everything's plugged in. All the clips are on. Everything's tight. This bolt's missing, so while you check, everything else is there. There we go. Bolt. Now we got a couple clips in. Table. Now, all these. Go ahead. New radiator cap. Make sure no old pieces of the radiator cap are sticking in the radiator. Clogging something up. Good. Your cap on. Way better fit. Nice and tight. Now we got all these plastic clips.
One of those goes down in the bottom of the under.
Okay. There's one on the ground right there.
Probably it.
Yeah, somewhere over there. Solid,
Yeah.
really. Found it?
Yeah.
Clips back. We've already tested it, so if I hadn't tested it already, I wouldn't be putting these clips back. I'll tell you that much, guys. You always want to test it before you put it all the way back together. And I believe the same thing with tools. You don't want to start putting tools away until your job's completely done. Unless there's a bunch of little projects you got to do in the job and you got 100 million tools out or what feels like it. Then you want to start putting stuff away so you can find the tools that are already out. Well, put back away, I guess, at that point. Now we're going to go ahead and do the AC system. Before I even vacuum it out, I'm going to see, since the radiators and fans are working now, if the pressure's equalized back. And since we haven't taken, not like, looks like I'm a little high still. So someone might even try to fill this because it was not working correctly, you know? If your fans aren't working, your refrigerant's not getting cool through the condenser, and you're gonna run into hot AC and also overheating engine, and then you put that on top of each other, and the belt working the compressor and the engine having to work the belt. You know, it's double. It's catch-22, and everything can happen at that point. Now, luckily, the AC system has a high pressure shut-off switch, so if the pressures do get too high, it's gonna cut off. But if even though that happens and you're driving, then the air, once you start moving through, it'll start getting cool. And once you stop at a light, you know, that's when everything's gonna go to shit. All right, I think we're ready to start and test.
Yeah, let's test it.
Here's the key.
Ice cold. Already.
Cold. Compressor's low on refrigerant, I can tell you that much.
Mint.
Run again?
Alright, I guess that's it. I mean, we could end the video there.
Yeah. Now, normally I would pierce a new can, but since this thing barely needs any refrigerant, we're going to go ahead and use one of these that we have laying around. Customer brought it by. I don't use these, but this doesn't have stop leak in it, so I'm willing to use it. The AC's working mint. Compressor, clutch is cycling correctly. Confused there for a second. I was like, oh, that's not good, but.
Alright.